in a seat of righteousness and agree with somebody who blatantly, wholeheartedly shows you who he is, and he's telling you who he is. He tells us that every time he gets a chance. Twitter all the time. He's like a thumb thug. That's what the pastor calls him. he calls those who hide behind Twitter and talk all that trash thumb thugs. So yeah, so he says he's good for that. Deceiving, telling all kinds of stories. But he said that we have to take a stand. We either going to stand up and do what we have to do to fight for as long as we can, because eventually the war has to go on and go to God, because vengeance isn't ours. It belongs to God, and he will be exalted on the nation, and he will be exalted in the earth, right? But God still wants us to get up and be courageous and be strong and know that we are more than conquerors. Know that we are victorious. We are the heads and not the tails. We are above and not below. So we should not sit in fear, and we should not sit complacent, and we should not sit pointing fingers talking about what everybody else should be doing when we ourselves are not doing anything. So as you move forward through your day today, as you move forward through the week, as the days go on, September is already rolled in, right? Before we know it, October will be gone and November will be right here. Rally up your troops. Rally up the treasures of those who you call your beautiful family members, your children, your grandchildren, your aunts, your uncles, your parents, your grandparents. Rally them up. If they can get to the polls, great. If they are old enough to vote. If they cannot, then have them mail in their votes. They may try to persuade us by telling us, oh no, there's going to be trouble with it. Don't listen. If you have to mail in your vote because you can't get to the polling place, then mail in your vote. Make sure you double check where your polling place is, because they will try to remove your name. It's happened to me. I voted in the same place for many years. And then all of a sudden, they've decided to move the polling place, and they say I'm not on there. But I will not be deterred. And I encourage you to not be deterred. And as soon as they do the replay of that particular sermon, I think it is it's amazing. And I want you all to hear it. It is from FCBC Church, which is in Harlem, New York. And it's online as well. But it takes them a day or two before they do the recap, the rerun of that. So as soon as it is up, I will record it and then put the link in the bio, and you guys can listen to it, because I think you will truly enjoy it. It will uplift you. It will encourage you. I also want to share with you about your dreams, because the pastor also spoke about that today. He spoke about Joseph in Exodus, and how Joseph was brilliant and gifted, and he would have these dreams, and in his dreams all these amazing things would happen, and he would share them with his family. And his brothers grew to become jealous and so hateful that they plotted their own brother's demise. They wanted him dead and gone. That's how much they hated him. They knew that the father doted on him, maybe because he was the youngest, or maybe because he was the most outgoing of them. He had the biggest heart of them. And so he doted on his son, his youngest son. And so the older ones did not like that. So it caused a lot of tension in the family, between the siblings, between the parents. They just wanted them all to get along, but it didn't work. So they plotted many things, and I won't go into it because it's a pretty long story, but it is Exodus 1 through 6, if I'm not mistaken. And it talks about how they tried to kill him. Then that didn't work. They threw him in a pit so that he could starve to death and be eaten by whatever vermin was left in there. And then that didn't work. Then they put him in a prison. They lied on him, said some nonsense that he supposedly did, and they threw him into a prison. And then from there, when that didn't work, because he was released from the prison, he became a slave to, or indigent servant to this very wealthy man. And he used him for years. He used him. He kept promising that he would let him go after he would tend to whatever he needed him to do. And he did, over and over again. He followed what he was supposed to do. But I don't want to spoil the story for you because it's an amazing story. But needless to say, at the end of all that, after being used and abused and mistreated and lied on, even the wife of his boss lied on him because she tried to seduce him, and he said no, because he was not only a gifted, talented, gracious, compassionate young man, but he was also honorable, and he would never do such a thing, because although he was the servant of the house, he was the leader of all the other servants, and he was trusted there, so he would never do that. So she lied on him, and they went after him, and they again tried to kill him. It was just, the story is, it's an amazing story. So when you get a chance, it is Exodus, and it's the story of Joseph. So at the end of all of that, the brothers do find out. Well, they didn't actually find out. He found out that the brothers were in trouble. The brothers had come to him where he lived inside of the palace, and they needed help. They did not know they were going to their actual brother for help. So I will leave it there. And you can figure out, if you don't know the story already, whether or not you believe if he decided to enact revenge against his brothers, because he would have been in the right place to do what he needed to do in order to teach his brothers a lesson, right? He would have been. But again, I don't want to spoil it because, like I said, it is an amazing story. So thank you. That is it for today. And let me move on to the next part of this segment, which is I'm going to play some snippets of some songs. I'm going to attempt to do this, because last time I tried to do this, it did not work. However, have a blissfully blessed and beautiful, beautiful day. Whatever you do, make sure you continue to do it with love, because love, love, love is the thing. It is the thing. So rise as a love revolutionary. Fear has no place in love, and neither does hate. So love casts out all fear, casts out all hate. Okay? So you rule with love. You lead with love. You be intentional with love. And then your movements, when you are fighting for the next generations, your siblings, your children, your grandchildren, and their children, lead with love. Oh, you fight. You fight like hell. But you lead with love. And you do what you got to do, because you know we all protected in the coverage of the armor of God. So no weapons formed against us will prosper. Okay? You will run and not be weary, walk and not be faint. Rise up with wings of eagles, and we will soar because we are meant to. The day will soon come where we will sit at a table that is prepared for us with a glorious feast in the presence of our enemies. That is what God has for us. And so much more. So trust and walk in your faith, not in your fear. Walk in your strength. And know that even in the moments of weakness, God is with you because He is strengthening you. So don't be concerned when you're feeling a little weak. Just know that God is going to strengthen you and give you whatever you need to fight the fight that we need to fight, because we all need to do this together collectively. This just might be the fight of our lives, the fight of the history thus far, right? Let's take a little break.